Mm-hmm.
Okay, we on?
You can kick it off.
I'll start off by saying all praises and glory to
Hashem,
Yahweh.
Yakudah.
Um, so the premise of this video, you just want to touch inside and how the left hand side operate because a lot of brothers, from before you came into the truth and after you came into the truth, you may experience certain episodes where you get attacked by demons, whether it be when you're sleeping or whatever the case may be. But we just want to touch on how the left hand work. So want to start with numbers real quick, and then we get the one in Matthews with is it Legion, and he was in the cemetery. Yeah.
It's Numbers 35 and 33. It says, so you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land.
So scriptures say not pollute the land within you are. Now then it goes on to say that what defiled land is blood, and what it means by blood, that's unjustifiable killing, which is murder. So when an act of murder takes place, what happened? That land becomes polluted, it becomes defiled. Go ahead.
It says, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
So that land cannot be cleansed or come clean unless the person that shed the blood, his blood gets shed on the land. So until that happens, that land is unclean. So this is why we see a lot of episodes of where they'll call a haunted house, where that demons is possessing a home. Because when a murder takes place in a house, that place is unclean. So what Esau will call a haunted house is really a demon possessed home. That's another example I want to give is like the movie The Shining. And you watch the movie The Shining, they give you clues here and there why the home was possessed by demons. And they'll show you clues with like Gad, like images of Gad on mugs or different certain images with Gad. And the reason why that home was possessed by demons because the murder of Gad. The same thing with the movie Amityville Horror, and along with other movies. So Esau knows how the left hand side works because he prayed to the left hand side. So a lot of possessions of home is because of murder. Or if it's not a murder, it's somebody playing with tarot cards or the Ouija board, and they open up that realm from the spiritual world for demons to possess that home. So is it more?
That was it.
This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 4. The earth mourneth, it fadeth away. The world languisheth, it fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
So what make the earth defiled? To blood. Because who's in power right now? The so-called white man. How they gain power? They gain power and access of control through murder. Because everything he received was by ill-gotten gain. So when you receive everything by ill-gotten gain, and a lot of blood is getting shed, what happened? It becomes polluted, and it gets infested with demons. That's why you got people have homes and the doors open in and close at 3 o'clock in the morning. And Aunt Susie, she's going to one room into the next room. Now it's not actually the person that that's walking the house. Those are demons. Cause demons, that's why they know that devil, deceitful spirit. Cause demons could take on images of other people. When a person died, what happened? They call souls to the spirit. But demons they take on they as possession, and they take on the memories of the person, and they play around. That's what they do. They like little jokers, and little spiritual jokers, is playing around people, messing around people's head. That's why they're known as devils. They deceitful.
This defiled in Webster's dictionary. It says to make unclean or impure.
And that's what Esau did. He made the land unclean and impure. All right? Because there's certain laws in the Bible how you're supposed to bury people. And going back to the brother said Indian burial grounds, Native American burial grounds, and they build homes, houses, skyscrapers over them. Not keeping the land sacred. For instance, for Jake, for the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, there was something called strange fruits, where Esau would leave us hanging on a tree forever, for long periods of time. But according to the law, you supposed to, after you hang a person, you supposed to cut them down from the tree before the sunset. But what happens if you leave a person up there? You defile the land.
That's from the common board. Okay.
Assyrians, DM preachers push off.
That's Bashar.
Shalom.
King.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 21, verse 8. He that buildeth his house with other man's money is like one that got himself stones as his stool of his burial.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
You want to go into it?
Read it again.
It says, he that buildeth his house with other man's money is one that got unto himself a stone of the tombs of his burial.
Yeah, he that builds a house on his other man's money. How was America built? Through blood. The blood, sweat, and tears of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Not only that, Esau stole your riches. He stole your gold. He stole your natural resources.
And our heritage.
Our heritage, who we are.
That's right.
He called himself the Heavenly Father. All right? And he built America off of our resources, off of our wealth. So the scripture say what? He that buildeth
his house with other man's money is like one that gathered himself stones for the tomb of his burial.
He that gathered stones for his own burial. All right? Because ultimately, you're going to pay for the wrong and unjust deeds that you did. That's like the scriptures that say a person that built his house upon sin versus him that built the house upon a rock. All right? But let me get back to this. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws.
So when you transgress something, you're breaking the law. So the earth is found in the law breaking of the Most High, which will make this place unclean. And one thing about demons or evil spirits, they are attached to things that are unclean. So you see a lot of times, things that are unclean, like such as a cemetery. You don't believe me? Take a trip to a cemetery at 3 o'clock in the morning. What's gonna happen? You're gonna see a lot of demons, because where's the cemetery, found with dead bodies, which dead bodies are what? Unclean. Right?
It says, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and few men left, which goes into the nuclear destruction. This up and coming third world. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through his son Yahweh Shah, is coming back to destroy America, destroy the rulers of the planet Earth for all the defiling that they have done to the planet Earth. The defiling they did to the Lord's people. The defiling he did to the Lord's land, which is the land of Israel. All right? So that's the judgment that's written. Yeah, we got a piece of it.
Let me get on Mark 5. You gotta bring that out. Let me get Mark 5.
I got a few.
Yeah, bring up that.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 3. It says, I started at verse 2. It says, for in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
exactly.
Yeah, that's going into the Egyptians. Okay, there was trouble with these strange apparitions. All right. Another word for apparitions is all right. You know, they was able to see, you know, certain spirits, man. Okay, and that was the Lord tormenting them because they was oppressing the Israelites, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, during the time of Moses. Okay, when the Lord was gonna deliver his people. Okay, and that just this scripture right here is letting you know that these unclean spirits, you know, they're real. All right, and the Most High is in control of the left hand and the right hand side. Okay, and the Most High controls, you know, and he uses these left-handed spirits to fulfill his will as well as the right hand.
Right.
Somebody wants to be one?
You should have a couple. Well, that's it.
Yeah,
I think you got some. You got something?
Oh, no.
I got another one too. I got a
You
few.
got something a lot?
No, wait, wait, Mark 5?
You got that one.
Alright.
Kasai, what was that scripture you was reading?
Wisdom of Solomon, 7th chapter, the third verse.
Yeah, Malak.
Let's go with Mark 5.
Mark chapter 5, verse 1. And it says, and they came over onto the other side of the sea into the country.
So, no, one. That's one.
Near Mark 5.
Okay. All right.
In the countries of the Gariades, verse 2. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately they met him out of the tomb, a man with an unclean spirit.
So, he's representing towards Yahweh Shah. So it says when he read that part again.
It says, and when he came out of the ship, immediately.
So when Yahweh Shah came out of the ship, go ahead.
Immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit.
So when Yahweh Shah came off the ship, a man that was full with unclean spirits or demons, he met Yahweh Shah, and he said he came from out of the tombs. You know, which will be like today the cemetery, what we call the cemetery. So he was just hanging out in the cemetery, a place to the unclean. Why was that? Because, you know, spirits love to dwell in places that's unclean. Okay?
Verse 3. Who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could
So where
find
did he
him
dwell?
among the tombs.
So he dwelled among the tombs. And, you know, with a modern day cemetery, which will be a lot of dead bodies are located. So this guy that was possessed with demons, that's when he was just hanging out. He was just hanging out with you know with a lot of dead bodies was. Go ahead.
So it says, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, nor
So no man could bind him. I mean, they couldn't restrain him because he had that superhuman strength. You know, they would call it the retarded strength because he had demons on him. That's why you will see a person that's mentally ill in a train station, and it'll be like, let's say like 100-degree weather, and they got a whole big ass coat on. Or sometimes in the wintertime it may be cold as hell, and you might see that bugged out person with no coat on and still be warm. Those are them demons on that person that's keeping him warm, and he's not freezing to death or catching a cold. Right?
it says that no man could bind him, no man not with chains. It says because that he had been born with the fetters, chains, and no chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces.
Now the feathers is talking about chains of iron. So they will restrain him, and he would just break out of it because them demons was on him. He had superhuman strength. He had the ability to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just like you go to matter of fact, somebody can get it in Exodus with the Magi's, and you know Moses, he threw his rod. That.
I remember when cocaine first came out, man, give people special bonus, man. Cocaine produced it, man.
Yeah, cocaine hell of a drug.
Yeah, that's what they should put demons in it. People that strong
Crack.
and smarter.
Yeah, crack. He said he got smart.
That's put demons in it.
Yeah. That's what they got a thing called the crackhead strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, them crackheads, they're like superhuman. Yeah, them crackheads have superhuman ability. That's why, like, a person, like, right now you don't see too many crackheads or crack addicts, but going back to the early 90s, you know, crack was a big thing. You see crack pipes on the floor, crack rocks on the floor, or crackheads, Romans, high as fuck, and they'll hallucinate because they had demons on them. Because when you start taking certain drugs, the demons, you open up to the left hand side. But we say don't smoke, don't do drugs, because when you corrupt your vessel, your body, them demons, you're inviting demons to enter to your temple, which is your body. Right?
You got to say, don't defile your temple.
That's right. Corinthians, the 3rd chapter.
The temple is the Most High. But go ahead, finish your point.
So that's what happens. You know, you open yourself demons. Because even though, check this out, even though, like, you know, being in the faith, you go through a lot of things in the faith. Sometimes you feel like you about to snap, you about to lose your mind. But guess what? It's the Most High that keep you from snapping. Because the Most High controls the right hand side and the left hand side. So the Most High is the one that keep you from going crazy. Because a person go crazy, that means what happened? Demons took over them. So the Most High, all he's doing is he building up what we call an emotional immune system, rather than demons entering into our bodies. You build up an emotional immune system, you get exposed to certain things, and then you get exposed to the second or third time, it doesn't have the same effect as the first, because we build up emotional immune system and we become hard. But if you people in the world that go through certain things, they resort to certain drugs, and demons just take over them.
Yeah. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3.
That was on that wall.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, finish your stuff.
Yeah.
Says, neither could entertain him. That's it.
Yeah, so other words, they couldn't restrain him. But they go say legion, but we are
Yeah,
many.
keep going.
Yeah, verse 5. And he always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs crying.
So he was in the mountains. So he stood to himself. And you know, a lot of times, you know, we'll talk about, you know, like your being by yourself is a
Playground for Satan.
playground for Satan.
Demons.
That's what it is. Like a lot of times you're going through things, talk to a brother, go to the scriptures. You don't gotta always talk to, depend on the situation.
Yeah.
But if you feel like it's like the burden too strong for you, or you feel like I need to talk to somebody, we're not saying, here's the disclaimer, we're not saying to talk to any brother, but there's a brother for you to talk to.
Right.
But the moment you try to distance yourself and try to battle it, isolate,
Be so
now guess what? Welcome to Satan Playground. What's that?
His amusement park.
What's the guy name? The rapper with the braids, Astro Pop.
Yeah, Travis Scott.
Yeah, that's what you into, like Satan, Travis Scott, Astro World.
Right.
You know, and you in Satan Park, and Satan will have a field day with you.
Yeah.
Because Satan is a stalker. Like these demons, they're stalkers. They know you better than you know you. So you don't thoughts will jump in your mind. Well, you know, technically you could, you know, and like all these stupid ass thoughts will jump into your mind. Like, nah, man, you should do this or you should do that, and back in your mind, but maybe that's right. And then your emotions get involved. So them demons that will have a field day on you.
Right.
And before you know it, you just made a decision you can't go back, you can't get out of now.
Right.
But if you would have told somebody, or brother, if you would have talked to a brother, he would have told you out of making certain decisions, and them demons were
Subside.
they would have stepped aside because you'll be less vulnerable, and the brother would give you, nah, this is Satan, brother. You know, we all go through this shit,
Right.
and you be like, you know what? You feel less crazy,
Yeah.
and you feel like you're not alone, and that comfort you. And them demons don't got, like, demons feed off fear. They feed off fear and doubt. It's fear and lack of faith. Like when you do something and your faith may get a little weakened at the time, demons fuck with you at your weakest point.
I remember that's why I mostly jump on women. Cause woman is weakness. And man, are they fair? We ain't got no faith for demons. And woman.
That's right. That's right. That's true. I'm glad you said that, because you know what? A lot of females, they operate off emotion. Well, they're more emotional than men. So Satan have more access to female because they operate off emotions. Whereas men, most I created men, operate over logic. Like a man can feel something, but he may not operate on it, like, nah, ain't the right thing to do. Whereas female, they operate solely off emotion. So, you know, Satan have more access to women.
Yeah. Which goes back to serpent in the Garden of Eden.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And one of the things that the brother was building on, when you isolate yourself and you in Satan's amusement park and you battling all them thoughts, all the deceitful spirits, all them devils, and you talk to a brother, what does the scripture say? Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name,
I'm in the midst.
he is in the midst. So when you by yourself, you don't know. Yeah, you believe you serve the Lord, but the Lord works with his in numbers. You know? And that's why one of the first things Yahushua did was gather his 12 disciples. He gathered his men and he sent them out by twos.
Yeah.
Because where 2 or 3 are gathered in his, he is in the midst of them. And you are better able to repel Satan and demons when you with the brotherhood or building with brothers. And that's all
right.
Case by case scenarios.
Exactly. To feed off this brother. That's why, you know, a lot of time, or even with the case with Yahushua, they say Yahushua was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights.
We're gonna get into that a little.
You know, yeah, we get that Matthew, and Satan came to Yahushua in his own weakest. We had something.
I got Ephesians 6.
Okay, you go first.
I got the same thing.
You
Oh,
read
no,
that?
yeah, bring it on.
Did you finish? Did you get there? Or?
No, I got 2 more verses.
Yeah, let him bring that out and we're gonna get to these.
Alright.
Yeah, well,
It says, and in the tombs crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he
So,
saw,
read that part again. He was what?
and at night and at day, he was in the mountains.
Oh, that's right. You were talking about isolation. So, there's one thing about this guy that was possessed with demon. He did a lot of isolation. That's why he was in the mountains by himself, because them demons had more control.
Power.
You have more control, power, to where if you close to people, people could like stop you from thinking certain things. So, them demons operate on isolation, because them thoughts start getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and the way you feel, they will exploit it. That's why it's the reason why the scriptures say Satan has a roaring lion, because lions just don't turn it down. But lions just don't operate. They don't just attack the strongest animal, because lions don't want to work that hard unless they have to. So they will cause a diversion, and during that diversion, they'll look for the weakest link. The animal that's limping or the slowest animal. And that's what we become when we go through things. We got little things we battling. So Satan sees an opportunity as a wrong lion to try to exploit it and take you out. Go ahead.
The scripture says too is better than one. It says and always at night and day he was in the mountain and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Yahushua afar off, he ran and worshipped him. And he cried with a loud voice. And he said, what have I to do with thee, Yahweh, thou son of the Most High? Power, I adjure thee by the Most High, that thou torment me. Verse 8. For he saw unto him coming unto the man, though unclean spirits.
And that's another thing too. The spirits was tormenting him. That's their whole purpose. To torment you, to aggravate you, to harass you. You understand? That's why when we battle spirits and demons, that's exactly what they do, man. They fuck with you when you're in limbo from sleeping, from being up to sleeping, or in your dreams. They torment you. Whether you see a physical figure, or you feel the presence, or you hear shit, you feel shit, see shit. That's the role of these demons, to torment you. But just like the Most High told Satan, they don't got the power to kill you. They got the power to fuck with you, but they don't have the power to kill you. Go ahead.
And he asked him, what is his name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, and for we are many.
Right, so a legion was approximately, ancient time, somewhere between 3,000, 6,000 men, or army of men. So these guys, he just didn't have one or two, three demons on him. He had thousands of demons on him, and he was fully possessed. Go ahead. That's why he said, we are many. Go ahead.
And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. There was day and night unto the mountains a great herd of swines. And all the devil besought him, saying, send us into the swine, that we may enter into them.
Yeah, and which a swine or pig is something considered to be unclean. Like we go into the law, you're not allowed to eat no swine or no pig because they are unclean. So the demons chose the swine to possess because it's something that's unclean. Go ahead.
And for which Yahweh shall give them leave.
And that's real quick. That's so why people got so many demons
Demons?
because they fucking eat it. Excuse my French. They eat
Yeah.
unclean animals, man.
Chicharron.
You know?
And chuletas, you know, Latin tribes. Like chicharron, pork skin and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, pork fucking skins.
Pork ham is pork slices, pork rounds, pork
Ham sandwiches, ham, egg, and
Bacon,
cheese.
bacon, egg, and cheese. One word, bacon, egg, and cheese in New York.
Yeah, that's
That's
New York
right.
fruit.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
You know? And that's an unclean thing.
Uh,
So they're defiling their temples, which puts unclean spirits on them. So the majority of these people, and that's not the only thing that makes them unclean. There's dietary, civil, ceremonial laws. There's many things that make these people unclean, and that's what we're dealing with. That's why the Lord got to come back. Because these people got demons, man.
Yeah.
God.
And forthwith Yahushua gave them leave, and the unclean spirit went out and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea.
Got him a lot.
The spirits was on the man, the thousands of legions of spirits, man, to that unclean animal, man, the swine.
Mm-hmm.
Ran, the scripture say, man, the place was so terrifying, man. They ran violently, man, down a steep in the water, man, the sea. And they were about 2,000, and they were choked in the sea, so they died in the sea. It was unclean spirits on them. I've been through a couple of stuff, man. When I was growing up on the islands, yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was scary as hell. I didn't know until when I came to the truth, man. Now we got pulled over these demons, man. So, I've been.
Dealing with these demons.
Uh,
This is Matthew chapter 17, verse 15. It says, well, I start at verse 14. It says, and when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed, for oft times he falleth into the fire and off into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahushua answered.
So, in other words, this guy had mental problems because he was possessed with demons. So it goes on to say, you know, he brought them to the disciples, and they was not able to like heal this guy. Okay.
It says, then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me.
So this is Yahushua speaking, and well, you're gonna read on the reason why they wasn't able to perform this action because they lack of belief. Okay.
Yep, it says, Yahushua.
Because I'm sorry, brother. Real quick, just want to say, like, believe it or not, when you teach somebody and they come into the truth, you know what's happening. What's happening is those spirits is leaving that person, and that person becoming, what you call that? When you have you know, with roaches and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it's a abatement, pretty much a demon abatement. So
infestation?
that's what it is. It's an infestation. But when that person wake up to the truth, there's a spiritual abatement, and demons is leaving that person. Look at that.
It says,
So what 7? Okay.
it
That.
says, Yahushua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour.
So he became cured because Yahushua rebuked them demons off him. So he came back to the state he was before. So the disciples wasn't able to do it because they lack of faith.
Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast him out? And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind.
And read it slow. So he's telling them, you have faith as to see, you pretty much could do anything. Then he goes on to elaborate like this type of faith has come. And what he said?
It says, howbeit this kind goeth not but by prayer and fasting.
There you go. Go ahead.
The keys of battling demons and fasting. That's why when brothers get attacked or plagued, what do? We call upon the names of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. We call upon the names of Yahweh Yahushua until the spirit leaves, or we rebuke the spirits.
Quick precept for you.
Yeah.
This is Jude chapter 1, verse 8. It says, likewise also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil dignities. Yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, durst not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua rebuke thee.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
That was the point.
Yeah, so you got spirits on the right hand side, what we identify them as angels, and you have spirits on the left hand side, and it's going into the body of who is it Moses. So the Most High has that body, But let's go into let's get that, and let's get Ecclesiasticus 30. If you ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I got you.
Ecclesiasticus 33 and 27. We're talking about isolation.
As Matthew 12 and 43, it says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man.
So it says when the unclean spirit has gone out of a man. Now, when does that happen? So that happened when a person crosses over into the faith. So all them past patients, it goes away. Let's say he smoked a lot of weed, or whatever the case may be, he was into adultery. That's all demons. And now the spirits leave him, and he developed discipline and faith enter in, and doing things is wrong. So go ahead.
It says when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry place, seeking rest, and findeth none.
Because that's the nature of a demon. So demon nature is to find somewhere to possess, to find a home. Now with the word body, when you look into the word body means house. So them demons, they find a home within your flesh. That's why people get temptation to do things. But it says when an unclean spirit leave a man, he goes to dry places. So he's looking for a new home. Go ahead.
It says,
Or a new body. Go ahead.
It says, then he said, I will return unto my house from whence I came out.
So we understand that the house is talking about a person's body. So he looking for a new body. And he said, you know what? I'm going to return to the body I was in before. That's why when you come to the truth, certain things that you do back in the world that was unacceptable to the Most High, guess what? Them temptations, you get them temptations. Those them demons trying to get you to do the things that you was doing back in the world. So that's an example of this scripture. They trying to return back into that house. Go ahead.
It says, then he said, I will return unto my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished.
So what it means, empty, swept, and garnished, meaning that God, the things he did before, he did a whole spiritual flush, and he ruled his bed, he started committing adultery. But let's say he give in to them demons. What happened? Them demons come back with even more demons that's mightier than itself. Go ahead.
It says, then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
Because he couldn't do it by himself. Before, like, that demon could do it by itself. Like, that demon said, demon had you as a fucking slave before when you was in the world. The demon said, do this, you did it. When you came to the truth, he said, nah, that ain't right. Then them temptation come in like, nah, I still ain't gonna do it. Them demons, it needs to get help. So it get other demons with it to just to tempt you. Now, if you give in to them demons, guess what? Now you got even more demons on you, because that demons came with a herd of demons. Go ahead.
It says, and they enter in.
Because you don't get it wrong, there's different levels of demons, and in different levels of strength on demons. So it grab with them even stronger demons. But go ahead.
It says, and they enter in and dwell there, and the last state of that is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation.
Somebody want
Read that part again.
Okay, it says, I'll read the verse again, 45. It says, then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And it says, they enter in and dwell there, and the last state of that man is worse than the first. Yeah, because when them demons come back, you're in a worse. If you allow them demons to take over you, you're in a worse state than you was before. Just like you got a lot of guys who came in this truth, got right, tried to do the right thing, but what? They let them demons back in, man. Okay, and now what? Now they out of the truth, but they're worse off, man. They worse off than before they even came into the truth, man. You got guys that left the truth that's goddamn homosexuals, all right, dyeing their hair, all kind of madness, man. Just bugged out, all into all kind of philosophies, basically doing everything wicked, wicked in the book, man. All right, things that they wasn't doing before they was in the truth.
We got one guy, he was amongst us for a while, but then he dove over into the black conscience, and that's like fucking excuse my language, that's like 1,000 steps backwards. Because we actually come into the truth, you're able to debunk a lot of this stuff. A lot of the chemic stuff. The Lord will show you that. So for you to learn the scriptures and then those some heavy demons on you. He put on the comment board, maybe you guys, I forgot, not verbatim what he said, but he said maybe we'll listen to them chemic God, we'll learn something. But he's a bug out, those some demons taking over his body. For all we know, he could be a homosexual now.
I got something for you. She said that. Was that on that?
Yeah, I finished the last part. It says, even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Yeah, so and that's the same things is going on now, because hey, this place is wicked. So this is a cesspool, for all kind of demons, man. All right, to jump on, to jump on these people out here,
This is Romans 1:21. It says, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And that's going into the nation of Israel, all right? The Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, all right? Basically denouncing the knowledge, the teachings of the Bible, and changing the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible men and to birds and four-footed beasts and things, which is these different idols, right? And that's exactly what people are doing today, all right? And then it says,
They call them today religions.
right, there's different religions. It says, and the number one religion, of course, is the so-called white man. All right, then says, wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts.
Look at that.
All right, the uncleanness, man. So basically, demons jumped on you, man, and the Lord allowed it to happen, or the Lord sanctioned it. Right, wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, right? Homosexuals who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. I'm gonna jump down a little bit.
Can I
Right?
say something about the uncleanness? Now, the uncleanness is back represent towards the unclean spirits. Now, so the Most High gave them over to them demons to feed into them temptations. It mentioned about reprobates.
Yeah, I want to jump into that right
Okay,
now.
start here.
Where's that? Salak. Verse 28. This is Romans 1:28. It says, and even they did not like to retain the Most High and their knowledge. The Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
Now, the word reprobate means for another word, to be a reject. So they have a reject mind. So anything, that is acceptable to the Most High, they cast it to the back. So that's a reprobate. They rejects. So the Most High gave them a reject spirit.
It says being filled with all unrighteousness.
Then what's unrighteousness? First of all, the word righteousness simply just means to do that which is right. So it said they fill with all unrighteousness. What? The breaking of the law of the Most High. So the spirit to break the law, the spirit of sin is in them now, which is a demon. Okay?
It says,
You got a backslide, brother.
nah, you on point, brother. It says being filled with unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness.
And those are all demons.
Exactly.
Which is fornication, we understand that to be adultery. And adultery is a strong demon. Like you might, let's say, you might be in a drought for a little bit, or your thing might be on the shelf for a little bit, and a chick that's bad, whatever, she may try to throw you something, and guess what? You found out she in a relationship. Now the demon may jump in your mind, but technically, it's complicated. Listen, man, when a woman tell you it's complicated, you know what that means? Meaning they still together. They just not in good terms right now.
That's it.
That's all it means. But them demons may jump in your mind, technically, and them technical demons will get you to go off, and guess what? The Most High will cast you away.
Now you got demons on you.
Yeah. Go ahead. So that demon got you. It hacked into your mind. And that's what all these demons really want to do. They hack into your mind and corrupt you to do the things that's unacceptable.
Deceive you.
It says full of envy, murder.
I hate them. You got niggas. That's a nigga state of mind. Like a nigga have a best friend, and he be low key competing with his friend. That's an envious nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what niggas do. Or like they got the saying like niggas want Niggas want to see you do good, but just not better than them.
Exactly.
You know, that's an envious spirit. That's a demon. Like, that's the spirit of Cain. Why did Cain do what he did? Because he was envious. And what comes out of envy is murder. And the thought, and the envy leads to a lot of other things. Okay.
Right. Envy, murder, debate, deceit.
And the debate, that's a contention person.
Yeah.
A person, it just gotta be right. Biggie said that even when I was wrong, I got my point across. That's a nigga that is debate, you know, he just contentious. Because he just want to be the smartest guy in the room, or like, he just want to be the most controlling guy in the room. So that's a demon. And you see that amongst niggas. That's why niggas' friendship have a short lifespan. Because niggas shit to each other. They don't respect each other. Like a lot of the basic scriptures, which is real basic in the law, such as love thy neighbor as thyself. That's a scripture so basic it overlooked. Because a lot of discrepancies happen because that person didn't respect that person as that person want to be respected, or that person what do you call that, pretty much like over violating that person's space, or that person being intrusive into that person's space, so it leads to arguments and bullshit. But a scripture so simple, love that neighbor as thyself, it gets overlooked. And that's why niggas never have a long-term relationship. Niggas joke. And guess what? They take the joking thing too far. There's nothing wrong with joking, but what happens? Niggas never know when to stop joking. Or like they will joke with somebody, and guess what? Now you may trigger something with that person, and now that person is kind of pull away from that person because he don't want to hang out with you no more.
Yeah.
And they will never talk. You know, niggas don't communicate. They acting funny to each other. Now he's mad, or you acting fake, or you doing this. But guess what? That's the shit that niggas do. But when we come into this faith, we don't carry ourselves as niggas. We have an understanding now. You respect a man as a man, and as you want to be respected. But
It says deceit, malignity, whisperers. It goes on to say in verse 30, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents.
And, you know, what came to my mind, excuse me, disobedient to parents, like Jake don't expect nothing. Like it's like, especially this generation now, like I always see this brother because you know he's from that generation, but that the generation now is like there's no respect at all. Like they don't respect their parents, they don't respect their father, they don't respect anything. You know, so you have a lot of clashes just because not having respect. Right?
Right.
They don't respect the elderly. They don't respect people that's older than them that trying to lead them in the right path. You know, they'll argue with that person. Oh, don't preach to me. Go ahead.
Without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection.
You know, niggas not keeping any word. You know, one thing we learn about the Lord put his word before himself. So the Lord gave us that format to carry ourselves. You know, you don't want to be that person that, you know, you give your word, but you don't keep it. You person borrow money from you, you like, I'll pay you back $10. I'll pay you back Friday, Thursday, whatever the case may be. And you cannot pay that day. You just don't say nothing. Well, he didn't say nothing to me, so I ain't gonna bring it up. You know what I'm saying? So guess what happened? You caused a gap in the relationship now. He may not say it, but he caused a gap in the relationship. Oh yeah, I know I said I'll pay back you Friday or Saturday, but guess what? Is it possible I'll give it to you next week? This came up. Or I had to pay this bill. And that brother will, 9 out of 10, that brother will understand. Yeah. It's cool, you know, at least you came up to me and told me, instead of just ignoring it and paying it like 2 months later, he'll look at you like, damn, man, like, shit, at least you could have told me about it. And now he may not never loan you money ever again. So I say that to say this, you know, you gotta be able to be a person to keep your word. You gotta be a man of honor. Go ahead.
Says,
We're gonna close soon.
it says, implacable, unmerciful, verse 32. Who
Mhm.
knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death,
Mhm.
not only do the same, but have pleasure in death.
So these now this is talking about, you know, men, like they know the Israelites, they know the do's and don'ts, they know the things that's unacceptable and is acceptable to the Lord, and they still go and do it, the things that's wrong. And back in their mind, it's like they don't think they're gonna ever be judged. And they'll justify in their mind why they doing what they doing. So they know the judgment, but it's still they can't resist on doing the wrong thing. That's like a case in point, Judas Iscariot. He couldn't resist because that was his lot. That's it on that?
Yeah.
I got a few.
Dag aside.
This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
Right. So we wrestle against, you know, forces that we cannot see, and the main attack line. Okay.
It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Mm-hmm. Those are demons. So the fight that we have in is not a physical battle, spiritual battle. So we combat these spiritual opponents through the scriptures. That
It says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand.
right? What's the armor of the Most High? The scriptures, and the wiles mean trickery, because these demons they very good at, you know, sitting around with the mind. So that's the trickery. That's the wiles of the devil. Go ahead.
It says, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith thou be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
What's the fiery darts of the wicked? Those are the attacks we receive from Satan. And it most, like I said, it mostly happen within the mind first. Go ahead.
And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for saints. That was it.
Okay. Yeah.
I got one more.
And then I got two. That's it.
Let's close with that. I got.
That's Luke chapter 10, start at verse 18. It says, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, power over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you.
Well, in this case, when it mentions about Satan, it's talking about the physical aspect of Satan, which is the so-called white man, of course, and this empire he's ruling in, which is the America, which is the reformat of ancient Rome. So Satan is falling down, which is the so-called white man. He's falling down as lightning, like quickly. Okay.
It says, notwithstanding in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
In other words, the works we doing now, the Most High, he sees that. and don't think that what we doing is going in vain. Everything we do is a reward for it. So rock a ball.
And the build on, it says, rejoice not that you have power over the spirits, showing you can rebuke these, man. You can rebuke unclean spirits. You can pray to the Most High, send unclean spirits away from you. Whatever you be attacked or plagued,
I mean, add too. That's why I brought out Book of Jude earlier, where it said Michael the archangel, when he was having a conversation with left-handed spirit. He just called upon the name of the Lord. He said, "The Most High rebuke you." That's the same. That's the same thing that we use to combat these demons. When we call upon the Lord to rebuke these demons, so that they could leave us alone, because they, while we in the flesh, whether we be, in a sound sleep or in our everyday lives, they afflict us. That's why we read Ephesians 6. It's a constant battle. It's a spiritual battle. Everything is spiritual. We're fighting a spiritual battle.
That's why little things like you had to fall asleep, you get tired all of a sudden.
The flesh.
The flesh is the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And to build on what you were saying, the scriptures say that them that fear the Lord, that he has angels encamping from round about them. So you got angels over you, able to combat the demons that's fighting you. You just gotta pray to the Lord, But this is 1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy. For the temple of the Most Holy, which temple ye are, which goes into what we was building on earlier, how people got unclean spirits on them because they eat and live an unclean life. So they're just possessed, man. They're just possessed until they're destroyed. In regards to the elect, we combat these demons, we combat these spirits, but ultimately the Lord is going to have his elect prevail. They're going to overcome. This is Matthew 4:1. I'm just going to get to the points. Then was Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. What we was building on earlier. When Yahushua was by himself, Satan came to him. All right? He was out there fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. And what happened? When he was in a weak state, Satan came to him. So when we out there in the world dealing with our hells on a daily basis, dealing with our adversities and tribulations, Satan's going to come. And what is Satan? The adversary. He's the deceiver. He's going to come with the deceitful thoughts, the doubtful thoughts. All right? And when he had fasted to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command these to be made bread. But he answered and said, what did the Satan do? He tried to deceive him. He tried to make him think, make him believe that turning stone into bread is a good action. He tried to make him think doing a wrong thing is the right thing. And that's what spirits try to do to us. They try to make us be carnal. They try to make us, they read it in Romans, the 1st chapter, giving to murder, giving to pride, giving to malicious thought, malicious actions, giving to those unclean ways. That's what Satan tried to do. He tried to make it seem like that is the right thing to do. Verse 8, I'm just getting the points. And again, the devil take him up into a cedar high mountain, and shew him all kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then said Yahweh unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, the angels came and ministered unto him. All right, so we got to rebuke the tempter, man. We got to rebuke the adversary. We got to rebuke the demons, the deceitful spirits. We got to rebuke that weak nature. We got to rebuke that mortal man. We got to rebuke it, man. And we know it's easier said than done. We in the flesh as well. We bump our heads as well. But that's the condition of the battle. You got to rebuke these unclean spirits, man. The unclean spirit of doubt, the spirit of pride, spirit of being puffed up, respect of persons. We got to rebuke all these spirits, man. And it says, then the devil leaveth him, and behold, the angels came to him. So what happened after Yahweh did the right thing? He trusted into the Lord. He put his trust in the Lord. He put his mind frame, you know what? I ain't going to give in to these things. I ain't going to give in to what Satan is trying to tell me. I'm going to lean upon the Lord. I'm going to trust in the Lord. I'm going to trust in what the scriptures say, not what I'm feeling. And the angels came and ministered unto him after that. So after he went through his battle, the Most High sent angels to build him up, to strengthen him. Pretty much that's it.
Any closing words, anybody? Anybody? So, just gonna say, you know, everything we're going through is a spiritual battle, and it's the flesh versus the left-hand side. And we pray that, you know, we overcome the flesh, and when these events take place on the earth, that we be found worthy to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So with that, we're gonna close. We're gonna say all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.
Shadash.
Shalom.